So these 12 people, is there one characteristic that you say all of them possess?
Yeah, I would say the thing that has stood out and had people kind of like make it through and stick around in Violet is the ability to jump between tasks seamlessly and be willing to do anything and everything. So if you're, HR, you're willing to do
Some marketing, social media,
bookkeeping, operations, all the stuff, right? Because I have to do all this stuff. Engineers have joined sales sometimes. When somebody can't do that, they fizzle out.
Yeah, kind of a red flag, right?
It's a red flag, and it just becomes, they become unhappy. Everybody becomes unhappy.
Have you had this experience where like someone joined your team, and in 6 months they're like, "Hey, where's my $1 million?" Right? I thought all startups like got a lot of money quickly. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I think you can tell early on when people are like that, when they're thinking about the startup dream, the big exit. And I think it's it's important to level set early. It's like, hey, look, let's there's going to be equity, but you're doing this because you're mission driven. You're going to make a difference. You're going to have a salary that you can survive on, right? I don't want you to be starving. And the equity, it should be okay. If we have a big exit, there'll be a piece of it for you. But that's what is it? One in a 1,000.
Yeah, like I joke around, like if you tell some people I'm gonna give you equity, that's like you telling the person, see that pot of gold in the rainbow, I'm giving to you. I thought that shit ain't fucking happening.
Yeah. No, and it's you got to help people understand that, because you go watch The Social Network or Shark Tank, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a startup. Yeah. But really treat it like it's your job, and that you are going to make a difference in a fast-paced environment. I think a startup prepares you to do anything.
Yeah. And even if the startup does like get big money, the dilution comes to it. You might get 1%, but that 1% goes down to whatever it is.
It's going to be typically a lot less than what you think or you'd hope, and even for founders, right?
Yeah.
Like the founders get diluted the most, and it's because you're not doing it for the money. That's the only reason why you'd stick around.
Yeah. So what's something about tech that like excites you?
I mean, like just looking at the biggest problems that we have of like pollution and microplastics and all these things, like there's a solution and technology for all of this. And it exists, and somebody's going to come up with it, and somebody's going to build it, and then the problems that we have now are not going to be problems, at some point in the future. And just knowing that is powerful, because anybody could be the person that helps crack and helps solve like microplastics or whatever the thing, right?
If you want to solve the problem you're solving, what other problem do you want to solve?
I have a lot of experience in energy, and so I think as the world progresses and other countries get more and more developed and advanced, we need more and more energy, and we need better ways of providing energy with less waste. And so I think probably something in there. And then I do kind of sway kind of clean tech, environmental also, and so somewhere in that realm of the world.
So how about this one? Like, so throughout history, every generation, the smartest people in the world think like this is correct, right? Like, back in the day, people thought Earth was the only planet. Then it was like people rotate the Earth, Yeah. But it's always proven wrong, right? So what do you think that we know, like 100% sure right now, that's going to be proven wrong in the future?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a lot of understanding about the universe and how the universe works and like what exists. And I'm not talking about like life on other planets. I'm talking about like what is just beyond what we can see now. And the more we have SpaceX and we have other companies that are focused on like looking out further and going out further, I think there's a lot we're going to learn. From kind of like what's just beyond our reach right now. And I think like everything you talked about, it's like we think this and then we move to that. it's because we can see something that we couldn't see before.
Yeah.
Right. All it takes is like one realization. It's like, oh, paradigm shift. Okay, now I see the world completely differently. And I think, you know, you look outward or look inward, right? Like human bodies, like how does cancer, spread in our body, and how do we, solve it in each one of these cases? I think there's probably going to be a time where that unlocks a little bit. We just kind of understand the mechanism, and so understanding the mechanism allows you to implement a solution so much easier. Like really small or really big, those are the areas that we're gonna.
I think one thing that happened like way back in the day, it would take like 6 months to go from England to the United States. Now it takes 6 hours. I think in the future, instead of taking like, I don't know, however long it takes to Mars, it's going to be cut down like something more reasonable, right? We're going to have some kind of new technology, like, figure out how to do wormholes or some kind of, travel. Like something's going to happen, some new engine. I think something's going to happen like, oh shit, you just got to do this, right? I think something that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? We make the biggest leaps when we have a dedicated focus to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think if in the United States we were like, we're going to be able to travel anywhere in Europe in 1 hour.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
Right? It's like we go to the moon. Why did we go to the moon? Because we said we're going to go to the moon.
Did it in 8 years and really ain't done shit since then.
Yep. And so that the money went there, the focus went there, and we did it. We can accomplish anything. Right?
If we beat the Russians, let's go do something else.
Yeah, let's move on, right? So I totally agree. Like that could happen. Will we make that our focus? I don't know. But it'd be cool.
One thing I think is going to happen too, I think in the future, at least I think with my grandkids, I think we're gonna have like space hotels, like above, like right above space, right below space. We're gonna have space hotels up there where people I
think if Blue Origin's successful, probably we will. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's there's so many different goals of space travel. It's like, okay, go get minerals and like almost like mining asteroids and all that.
Yeah, people say, why are all these billionaires doing that? Because there's like trillions of minerals on these asteroids, right?
That's if you're treating it like a business, that's the business. But colonizing Mars and space hotels, those are like things that can come about from
And of course, and why colonize Mars? Why not just colonize the moon, right? It's not be safer, quicker, but who knows, right?
Yeah, there's probably influenced by a lot of science fiction and a lot of other things. I think Elon Musk is a very interesting guy, and there's reasons that we don't understand, but. Also, sometimes you just get an idea in your head, and it's like, I want to be the person that does this, and maybe it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like colonize Mars, and like, why would we go there? It sucks.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Yeah. Like I definitely don't want to be like first person on Mars, like the first ship. No, maybe ship 100.
No.
Maybe when they have like condominiums built, Violet is like all over Mars, cleaning the air and stuff.
Yeah. But you look at science fiction. It's like, how sweet would it look if the Earth was uninhabitable? Okay, then probably I'd want to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like having the option maybe is a good thing for like 400 years in the future. Who knows? But yeah, it's kind of out there. Right?
Yeah, it's exciting times we live in. Like a lot of times people say it's sexy to be alive now. It's horrible to like, man. To me, it's the best time to be alive right now, right? Because like I ask the question sometimes: do you want to live now, 5 years in the future, 5 years in the past? 5 years in the future. The planet not be here. Might be a sign that hey, we moved to Mars. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like I'm not built 500 years in the past, right? I can't fuck with bubonic plague, all the stuff going on. Right. I can't do it, right? So right now, I'm sticking with it right now.
The best time is this second right here, right?
Can you imagine going back 5 years in the past, like all the shit going on then, like just like especially if you're like a peasant, like damn.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, let's not relive that.
No. And then you say, go 5 years in the future, all the technology we take over is like a utopia. Yeah, but there's that small chance that we've blown each other up and like we're just fucking like, not even alive anymore.
There's plenty of risks right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. Yeah, let's just, it's best to live in the present.
Yeah.
Enjoy the time here, and we got a good situation going on.
Yeah.
We can access anything, do anything, learn anything with.
And when people say the good old days, you mean the Holocaust, like the depression,
right.
All the racial stuff and the Jim Crow laws. What are you talking about? The good old days? Yeah, because our definition of good old days is kind of different. Yeah, that's all this exciting stuff going on right now. All the technology, it's just exciting times.
I agree. Yeah, it's a good time to be alive.
Yeah. So. Next, you're talking about your company some, but go into more detail about how you got started, like really good detail, and what you focus on now, what the vision is for in the future.
Yeah, so Violet started as kind of a hardware technology company. We've kind of added a software aspect to it and a data aspect to it. Over time, that's going to be what becomes most important: sensing and data, and enabling people to understand and take action around unhealthy things in the air in any environment. It's going to start with environments where it matters most, like healthcare, elder care, schools, early education, childcare, and then it'll move to the point where, of course, it makes sense to understand that in your house and understand that in your office also. So that's kind of the vision. I do think there's AI. I know there's AI implementations that can just make that much more effective, right? So really kind of, okay, this is sensed. What does that actually mean? Let me bounce that against, the world of information and give, tailored, smart recommendations about what it means to you and what you should do, right? So that's how AI plays into it. And I think it's going to take time, but I think air health is going to be understood, and air health is going to be important in a way that it is not right now. And just like we won't drink a dirty glass of water, there's going to be a time where, people are going to refuse to breathe dirty air, right? And they're going to demand that that what they ingest through the air is going to keep them healthy, right? And so over time, I think governments will understand that and will kind of have regulations around it. Like if you're a building, you have to have this stuff in there to keep the air clean for the residents, because we know that it takes years off of lives, and so it's the right thing to do. And we also know that we're polluting the air, right? Like the things that we do in this world are putting bad things in the air. So we also have to clean that up so we don't breathe that in and we don't kind of kill ourselves slowly. That's kind of this future that I envision, and it's just data enabled, right? We can become smarter and smarter to the point where we know what's going on and we can make our choices based on real information.
So you always hear about this thing called decarbonization, right? What is that? It doesn't matter. Does it matter how much carbon is in the air? You have these companies we want to be carbon neutral. What is that?
Yeah, I think it's just creating pollution in some kind, right? Like if you're using a bunch of energy through fossil fuels and you're putting pollution into the air, that you are offsetting that in some way as a company. And I'm not an expert there, but I appreciate that there is a focus and a push there, just recognizing that we can't just off gas and output forever and ever and expect nothing to happen, right? And so it's an interesting time where, and maybe it always will be, where there's just a 50-50 divide of we need to treat our environment well or else we'll have consequences, versus nah, it doesn't matter that much, it's overblown. And it's probably somewhere in the middle, right?